Good morning, Sunrise Santa Rosa.
Hey, good morning, Nick. This is Shannon. How are you?
Good, Shannon. Hold on. I want to read this announcement, this declaration of the local state emergency of City of Milton, before we get into this, if I could, please. It says, whereas the City of Milton, Florida, is threatened by the spread of the COVID-19 virus, which presents a known risk of community spread, illness, and possible death to the vulnerable populations, now, therefore, I, Mayor Heather Lindsay, declare that local disaster emergency exists in the City of Milton and that we hereby invoke and declare those portions of Florida statutes which are applicable to the condition have caused the issuance of this proclamation to be in full force and effect in the City of Milton for the exercise of all necessary emergency authority and protection of the lives and property of the people in the city of and the restoration of local government with a minimum of interruption. The declaration was approved by the City Council. That's supposed to happen tonight, I suppose, right? That's happening tonight?
I'm sorry. You sound a little muffled. I might have to call you back on without my earpiece. But go one more time.
The declaration is going to happen tonight. Am I correct?
Well, that's the meeting tonight. We're having a special meeting, and that's going to be before us. And that was the copy that I received.
So what does this mean to Milton and the surrounding counties, to the surrounding county?
So my understanding of declaring a state of emergency would allow us to recoup funds that we may expend because of this situation. So with that, I am in agreement.
Okay.
However, this goes on to actually establish additional authority,
right?
Which I am not in favor of. I don't know I don't think that's necessary. I mean, I'm not real familiar with these types of declarations. I'm new with this, and I'm just figuring it out. But when I read it, it's like, wow, that just seems like very strong language, and it's ambiguous, so it can maybe be applied different ways.
Here's a part that stands out to me. All citizens are called upon and directed to comply with necessary emergency measures, to cooperate with public officials and emergency services forces in executing emergency operation plans, and to obey and comply with lawful directions of properly identified officers. Is that what?
I agree with you.
That's because, and again, it is ambiguous. And in the day that we live in, that is very scary. Because that could be, depending on the person who interprets it, it could mean all kinds of things.
Right. I just don't think that why should that be necessary? I mean, if there's a law, we're supposed to comply with the law anyway.
Right.
But I don't agree with any of us, council, mayor, anyone, telling citizens to comply. Citizens will do what they want. I just don't think that's their place. I have big concern with the part of all necessary emergency authority.
Right.
Big concern about that. There's a part in it that says about employees exercising their utmost diligence in the discharge of duties. I mean, shouldn't they do that all the time anyway? I don't think that even needs to be said.
Yep.
So I've got problems with this. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I don't know how the rest of the council feels. I can't talk to them outside of a meeting, so
right.
I haven't seen anything posted, or I have no idea what they think about it.
Right.
I don't know if they've read it the same way that I've read it. I mean, truly, I hope they've all read it. I hope they've scrutinized it, as I think we should with everything that comes before us, but I just don't know.
Yeah, and listen, I give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't think there is really any kind of, I hope there's no kind of ill intent with the message, but what it does open up is a big can of worms.
Well, and it's just how much are people willing to allow to happen around them.
Right.
We already, we can't assemble now. So if something comes up and a group of people wanted to protest, how's that going to be received?
Exactly.
So, I mean, are we going to keep doing this? And, if the federal government's already put out guidelines, if the state's already put out guidelines, the county's already said what they have to say, does the city have to do it again?
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem like it's extra unnecessary stuff. What
We're,
you know?
we're also just, I don't know if you know how much you have studied up on Milton City government. We're a council manager form of government,
Right.
and the manager works at the will of the council. So does this hand over, I mean, I don't even like to think of it as power because I don't, but does this hand over all power to the mayor and the manager? I don't know.
Yeah. It's an
I mean,
odd piece.
I don't know who wrote this. I don't know where it came from. It was just sent to us that, this is, and the special meeting was called.
Yeah. It's frightening. It is frightening. I got it last night late. I was getting ready to go to bed. And I went, well, this is concerning. It is concerning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's frightening because I'm not scared of anything. I'll say it makes me mad.
Yeah, well, but I mean it's scary in the fact that it is a transfer of power. It is a relinquishing, and again in a time when people can't protest it. There's no way for people to get to the meeting and to protest and to say, hey, this isn't right. There's no way to do that because all this stuff's been shut down.
Well, it's just like, okay, so at this time right now, I don't think this is the time for city council to be handing all their authority over to one person or to someone that's not even elected. Now's the time where we all need to be working.
Yeah.
Now's the time where I think I need to be looking out for my constituents. Well, I look out for them all the time, but I mean,
right.
Now is the time for us to be really doing our job. Now is the time for us to make sure your rights aren't being infringed upon, not just hand it all over because someone's scared.
Right.
I mean, that's not the way we do things here.
No. And with the National Guard being deployed, that kind of stuff bothers me too. This kind of falls in the line of that. What are we going to see over the next week and a half? And that's what concerns me.
Well, I'm just not going to send the message to people to comply. I'm not going to do it. And where this says to do that, and we're calling on our citizens to do it, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So I
agree. Good for you.
It might be. There's 8 on council. Mayor doesn't have a vote unless it's a tie, but it could end up being 7-1. I don't know. I mean, or it could end up being complete unanimous no. I mean, we're a conservative area, and I hope that the rest of the council is paying attention to that. We got 4 of them that are up for election.
Yeah. Well, to our listeners, you jumped in. We were talking to Shannon Rice from Milton City Council, and so look, this memo or statement, whatever it is that they're going to look at tonight at the City Council, is concerning. It's on the Milton Post. You can find it on the Milton Post, and if I can get Stephen or Roger to repost that thing for us, so it goes up to the top or pin it to the top, something so people can find it. Call your city councilman and tell them, hey, we don't like this. We don't want this, and let them know your displeasure because this is wild stuff, and we don't need. And I think to me, Shannon, this to me adds fear to already difficult time. Yeah.
I think so too. I mean, I've been reading posts where people are just very upset right now. It's been stress for a lot of days for a lot of people. I don't think we need to add it to it.
Yeah.
Like I said, all this stuff has been said in other places. I don't think we need to reinforce it in the city. Declaring a state of emergency so that we can recoup funds after all this is done. I think that's, I know that they did that with the hurricane and they can recoup funds.
Yeah.
So that I understand, but all the extra words, I just don't think we need to say it.
Yeah, it's very concerning for sure. All right, Shannon, thank you so much. We appreciate you being on the show and standing up for what's right and making us aware of these things.
Thank you. So the meeting is tonight at 5:30 at City Hall, and it'll be live streamed. Live streamed,
and call your city councilman. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. This Milton Post said it's been pinned to the top of the page. You can find it and read it for yourself. Crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I agree with Shannon. This is very concerning. All public officers and employees of the city of Milton are hereby directed to exercise the utmost diligence in the discharge of duties required of them for the duration of the emergency and in all execution of emergency laws, regulations, and directives, state and local. All citizens are called to comply, called upon and directed to comply. Now, what are those emergency procedures? What is it? Is it different from the state? We hear this stuff from the state. Ron DeSantis is on TV at least 3 times a day.